Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that 2023 has been, without a doubt, the absolute worst year for Disney, and let alone also for Bob Iger as CEO. I actually always bring this up that I personally believe that Bob Iger definitely outweighs Bob Chapek when it comes to the lack of leadership and the lack of course, management skills over at Disney, and exactly what he has done consistently with all of these box office failures one after the other. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. Now, the thing about Bob Iger that we all know is that he lies a lot. He strings along the general public, the customers that actually are involved with Disney, and the shareholders alike. You know, this is a man that will say whatever he has to say to get people into either the theater seats, or into the Disney parks, or to buy Disney stock, or to sign up for streaming services, whether it be Disney Plus, or, for example, other business models like ESPN and Hulu, etc., etc. What's interesting all the more so has a lot to do with the ongoing drama surrounding the Marvel's director Nia DaCosta, and exactly what's been going on with her firing situation. Now, we talked about how she recently lost her 10-project deal for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Most of it, by the way, involved a lot of directing opportunities for multiple MCU TV shows, such as Ms. Marvel, the Ironheart spin-off, which is supposed to get announced by early 2024, that is now pretty much shelved. We have a lot more to talk about that as well, and everything happening with all the upcoming shows that will be affiliated with Phase 6. So, moving onwards, what's even interesting about this more so has a lot to do with Disney and the fact that they are currently dealing with multiple failures for 2023. Now, Bob Iger continues to lie and embrace damage control in an attempt to keep Disney afloat leading into next year. Now, one major development, however, has to do with the current situation, with the Marvel's box office situation overall, and with director Nia DaCosta. Now, one crucial update to this ongoing drama is that Nia DaCosta is, of course, and was fired by Disney from her 10-project deal due to the failure of the Marvels and the box office from that, but also from how Nia DaCosta, as it turns out, was in fact requesting a financial increase by Disney, even of course after her contract was agreed upon, for directing and writing multiple Marvel TV show episodes and directing gigs for 2 major Marvel movies that are about to be announced by 2024. Now, this is something that led to argumentative conversations between DaCosta and the Disney heads that led to Bob Iger making the ultimate call to fire her from the 10-project deal that is now creating ramifications where DaCosta is fighting Disney to reinstate her role as a director and writer for many MCU projects. Now, DaCosta was in fact going to be heavily involved in Ms. Marvel Season 2 to direct multiple episodes there. This opportunity also was a part of that deal that was lost. This was the main show where DaCosta was requesting a pay increase even after the finances were agreed between everybody in this contract. In addition to this, DaCosta also was responsible for why the Marvels went way over budget, and was another reason why Iger let her go from the MCU. DaCosta is the one that convinced Feige that more expensive scenes were needed to be shot for the 3rd act of the film featuring Brie Larson. Now, these scenes ended up getting cut in the long run that cost Disney roughly an extra $50 to $60 million in funds that went absolutely nowhere. So, let me just make a quick comment on that. We talked about how this movie has a lot of deleted scenes, and how a lot of which involved Brie Larson, and that roughly cost Bob Iger and those at Disney, like I said before, $50 to $60 million that went right and straight into the trash. Now, this is similar to what Kathleen Kennedy did, and we brought this up many times. Similar to what happened with Indiana Jones 5. There were a lot of scenes that were shot that actually involved Harrison Ford as Indiana, de-aged, that cost them around an extra $40 million that went into the trash as well. And it was a similar scenario, and somehow Kathleen Kennedy got special treatment out of that because, well, she's Kathleen Kennedy. But in this case, Nia DaCosta, who basically is a director that was trying to really make her way in the film industry, especially after Candyman, that was wildly rejected, by the way. It made money, but it was wildly rejected as far as reviews go. A lot of fans did not like the Candyman remake, so to speak. Now, what's interesting about this ongoing drama is the fact that, number one, Nia DaCosta, after signing her contract, was demanding a pay increase, a significant increase in her income for this 10-project deal, and we'll talk about the specifics in a second. To top that off, she also cost Disney $50 to $60 million with deleted scenes that went nowhere, and is the actual person that convinced Disney that more scenes needed to be shot to make this actually a success. Now, moving onwards, this was something that Iger viewed, and actually viewed over after this drama started between the Disney higher-ups and DaCosta. To make matters worse, DaCosta's firing from the 10-project deal, led Disney to canceling and shelving the Ironheart spin-off series that was supposed to get announced by February of next year to announce more Phase 6 projects. DaCosta was reportedly also demanding to increase her income for, of course, her Marvel deal by a quarter of the amount that she was offered beforehand a couple of months ago, that led to Disney scattering to find the next director and writer to handle multiple MCU shows built for Phase 6 and beyond. Right now, Disney is looking for a new director for Kevin Feige to look for himself to grab DaCosta's 10-project deal in 2024. Disney's plan is to essentially hold the same director and writer to be involved with at least 10 lower-budget Marvel projects as a whole. So that's basically Disney's new approach, is that they want to get a unknown director/writer to get a major deal to reduce spending. And that goes to show you how cheap Bob Iger is becoming. It's a part of his cost containment plan. We talked about this. They want to move away from stardom power, whether it be actors or actresses, writers, directors, whatever have you. They want to spend less on the creators and the talents involved in these projects. This is exactly why you're going to begin to see a lot more unknowns popping up when it comes to the creative side and when it comes to the talent side. And that's going to become a bigger trend by Disney in the next 2 to 3 years, because that's how long this cost containment plan is going to actually last. It's a temporary solution, by the way. Disney's looking to use this as a means to an end, so to speak, until Disney can recover, which I don't see it recovering anytime soon. Time will tell exactly where they stand in 2026 by Bob Iger's end of contract era. So there's a lot to go, from that point on forward. But when you look at someone like Nia DaCosta, this is not surprising coming from somebody like her that pointed the finger at what she calls the toxic male demographic as the lead cause as to why her movie The Marvels failed, when in reality it was the directing, it was the writing that destroyed it. So overall, guys, drop a comment below, fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.